Welcome to Dark Moon Cards and Games.
Visit our website for TCG singles, event playmats, custom buttons, and imported Japanese items.
Come play in one of our local events, including both competitive and casual card and video game tournaments.
Sell us your cards either online or in person.
Shop our full selection of everything Pokemon at our next convention near you.
Hey guys, this is Hee Haw from Dark Moon Cards and Games with the final step of turning our double theme deck from a little first step lead deck to a solid competitive deck that can win games against anything in the format. From our second step deck list in our last video, where we added the Galarian Berserker line, like some catchers, Viridian Forest, and Pokemon Communications, all we've done to this one is replace Zamazenta with Zacian V. Now you can do this according to your budget. One Zacian V instantly makes an impact in games, and it should not be a problem to get into play with the Communications and Great Ball and Sonya, plus the draw cards. However, there is always the possibility of prizing it, which means you've got to take knockouts with Zamazenta or Duraludon in hopes that you draw it from your prizes, which is not the way I like to play most of my games. So for consistency's sake, we dropped 3 of the Zamazenta for 3 Zacian V. I think Duraludon is too important in this list to drop, as he sets up knockouts, he puts energy back in play, and he provides a solid non-GX, non-V attacker that can prove valuable against a variety of decks. And the one thing you have to remember with Zacian V is that it cannot use Brave Blade on consecutive turns, so you have to switch between the two or retreat to another, or some kind of mechanic like that to keep pressure on your opponent. We are keeping one Zamazenta because, for one thing, I like him more. Yes, I chose Shield for my Switch game. But more importantly, as we showed in the previous video, Zamazenta is tougher to deal with than I think most players think. There are a lot of things that card should be, like 140 HP for one. Guard Press should only cost 1 Metal Energy instead of 2. And Power Rush should either hit for about 150 or not have the coin flip condition that it has. But alas, I am not in the design room at Pokemon, and I don't know what thoughts go into card design, and again, that's a conversation for another time. At any rate, let's take the final step version for a spin. Alright, for this last game, I'm going to be playing against Logan. Logan is going to be playing a Toxtricity VMAX with Garbodor and that Poisonous Puddle ability, which is a pretty lethal combination once this thing gets rolling. Toxtricity VMAX will be able to one-shot everything in my deck once he can get that set up, if he does. And looks like I will be going first, opening with our new addition Zacian V, which is not a bad way to open. Like I said, the Intrepid Sword ability always gives you an out if you don't have a good hand. I actually have a pretty good starting hand, so get an extra card here off of his mulligan. Let's see if that gives us anything else to work with. Duraludon, which is great. I won't be able to play supporters by going first. Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and communicate in this Berserker. We want to get that Meowth down so we can evolve. That extra damage from Berserker won't matter against the Toxtricity V, but it definitely will against the VMAX. Off of Great Ball, don't really want another Duraludon. Don't know that I want another Zacian yet. I may just take this Zamazenta. Give us a single prize option. If we want to get that set up, we'll have to play this out and see what we get. Got the 2 switches in hand, which is great. We can get that Zacian V back out of harm's way, and then just Intrepid Sword, and that's excellent. You get 2 energy attachments there with the ability to end my turn, which I couldn't attack anyway, so nothing wrong there. Like I said, that instantly if you've been watching these videos, shows just what that adds to this deck and why that's such a good card, why it's been so strong in the format. You can see Logan's open Toxtricity V. A tag call. I don't think there's any tag teams in this deck, but I guess it gives him access to some of the tag team supporters. I guess you could run a Alolan Raichu tag team in it, but sort of seems like that would get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, I'm going to take the 2 supporters. I don't think he runs that in there anyway. It's about the only tag team I could see. Volkner still in the format. Still a great card in every electric deck. I would assume he'll quick ball for a Trubbish. Just again, he can start that combo as well. Yeah, there's the Trubbish. Got a game down so you can evolve to the Garbodor. I think the other condition on Garbodor is you have to have a stadium in play. One of you do. Doesn't matter whose stadium it is, as long as there's a stadium in play. They hit me with Poisonous Jab, 20 damage, and I'm poisoned. Apparently I'm going to draw all of my switches early in this game with Sycamore in hand. Or excuse me, I keep saying these old card names. Professor's Research in hand. I guess that would be Magnolia. It's going to cost me my switches early. We'll use Evolution Roar and go ahead and get the Galarian Berserker out and evolving. Give us a 20 damage boost on whatever we do here. I'm going to try to get... with these switches, we'll definitely go for getting the Zacian up and just taking out this Toxtricity this turn. Again, on your second turn of the game, knocking out Toxtricity V, taking 2 prizes is an excellent start to any game. There's the needed energy. I think we want to get this, we'll put this Vitality Band. I know I've called this thing Choice Band down on Duraludon. Going to play the Great Ball. The Duraludon, with that boost and the Berserker, gets me to 60 damage off Metal Sharpener, which will give me a chance to take out that Trubbish. And we'll go ahead and knock out the Toxtricity V and take a early lead here. And with just the Trubbish in play, this could be a very short game. He's got a big hand though. I'm sure he'll be able to get some other stuff out. Again, I've mentioned that I think in the last video that Reset Stamp would be a nice addition here. Just to disrupt the hand size there of your opponent, even if you only do it once. And again, as you build your deck and you get more competitive, you can replace these hops for Marnies, which also helps you accomplish that. But a simple Reset Stamp addition would be a bonus there. The Sky Pillar prevents bench damage, which does not affect anything in this game anyway. It gets the Denny down, so there's not been too much else useful in that hand. Another Toxtricity V down. And that's cool. We get a chance to take out this Trubbish if we can switch out, or I guess maybe just pay the retreat cost. Let's bump his stadium and get a energy in the discard with the stadium, get us another one out, and we'll get that attached to Duraludon. So actually, with energy in the discard, Duraludon can do its thing. And we could draw 3 there, but we're going to play Sonya, get the Galarian Meowth, so we can get another Berserker, and go ahead and get a second Zacian V. Don't know how close he is to being able to get a Toxtricity VMAX set up, but we definitely don't want to get stranded without a Zacian V down. But again, this is the beauty of Duraludon, I think. Don't have to have the switch. We'll pay the retreat cost. Metal Sharpener, which, thanks to the Vitality Band, gets us the knockout on Trubbish and reattaches one of those 2 back to the same Zacian. And get another prize. Jumping out pretty early here. We've had to burn a lot of switches. And again, once Toxtricity VMAX gets rolling, if he can get it there, it's something we'll have to 2-shot. There's no way to hit that 320 HP in this deck. I'm gonna attach there another Volkner. Again, we're keeping the Trubbish Garbodor Pokemon off the board, which is helpful, because without being poisoned, that Toxtricity VMAX will only hit for 160. I believe that starts hitting 240 once we are poisoned. I'm going to toss a lot of cards. He's already down to 23 because I'm not too far behind him. There's another Trubbish. It'd be nice to be able to just catch that guy and knock him out. And then we can just try to get a Dedenne to end the game. He's going to leave us a Dedenne active, so let's go ahead and communicate in the V, get another Berserker out. And we got 2 hops. It'd be awesome to draw a switch here, because otherwise we can't take a knockout unless we can maybe get a catcher off the hop. So come on, hop, let's see what you do. There's a switch. So yeah, I think the move here is just attached to the Zacian V. And we will switch that Duraludon out. And go ahead and take the knockout on Dedenne. And take 2 more. Get us down to just 1 prize card left, which again, if that Trubbish remains and we can get a catcher, then we can just knock him out with the Duraludon. I haven't even looked at the Zamazenta this game. I guess he's another option too if we can get some Metal Saucers. I haven't seen a Metal Saucer yet this game, I don't believe. I don't think I tossed any early. I wasn't noting that, but so there's the Dedenne again. I guess by promoting Dedenne, he's, don't know. They're gonna rely on being able to switch, or you can attack with it with that Tingly Return. You can get the. We have not seen a Thunder Mountain come down that stadium, let him attack for 1 energy. And since there's probably no other GX move really at use in this deck, he can use the Dedenne's GX, hit me, and yep, that's what he's going to try to do, looks like. Which will get the Dedenne off the field and paralyze me. And he's going to poison me first. He got that Trubbish evolved, unfortunately. So Garbodor is still an option for a knockout, but it'd have to be at the hands of somebody other than Duraludon. There's that Tingly Return. We got all kinds of conditions going on here. Paralyzed and poisoned. There's another switch would be nice. I'm maybe out of switches. Let's see. I'm gonna play that Great Ball, just get it out of the way. Really not looking for more Pokemon at the moment. Back to relying on Hop. Nothing great out of Hop. I guess we'll just take the energy, and I think we're gonna have to lose this Zacian V, which we have a 5 prize card advantage at the moment, so that's not terrible. I guess we could burn this catcher and try to stall out that Garbodor. We got the heads. Guess maybe if he doesn't get the switch, we'll get him on the next turn. There's a lot of ways to switch in this in any electric deck, especially with Zero Aura still in play. We'll go into Trap and Sword, and that gets us 1 more energy down, so whichever Zacian, if he tries to kill one, we have the other for the next turn. Yeah, Radar would think he definitely plays Zero Aura. That will give him a chance to retreat this Garbodor. We unfortunately also didn't get anything to bump that Thunder Mountain out, so that Toxtricity VMAX can keep attacking with just 2 energies. I'm actually going to switch him out with Malolana. So I guess that catcher wasn't a waste, so it makes him burn that Malolana so he can't use it on Toxtricity VMAX. And with the being poisoned, hits me for 240, which I guess is effectively 250 after the poison between turns. So we'll definitely get the Zacian V down. I think we don't really want to toss everything here this turn. I think we want to play this Sonya. Go ahead and get 2 energies in hand. then we can attach one of these to Zacian V, the one that has no energy on it, and use Duraludon to attach another. Duraludon's going to hit him for 80 damage, and that will get him within range of either Zacian. Going Great Ball again just to thin. There's a Vitality Band, which I guess if he kills a Berserker, that could be important. So we can hit 230, then it goes to 250 with one Berserker. 80 damage will cut him down to, we'll have to be able to hit 260 to knock this thing out if he does not heal. But I think we've effectively set ourselves up if he doesn't have a way to heal to win, because we can either knock this guy out, we can take out the Garbodor. If he catches either of these Zacians with Boss's Order, speak of the devil, we've got the other one energy away. I guess a reset stamp here would be pretty nasty. There's a Zero Aura, and again, this keeps bringing me back to that reset stamp inclusion, because he has a huge hand. Will give him a lot of freedom to maybe pull something off here I'm not seeing, but Tapu Koko will get a second energy on Toxtricity, and Trebush, I thought he might go to the Zero Aura. There's the Poisonous Puddle, which sets up the 240 damage, so that V is gone. So 2 Vs down. Of course, as we mentioned before, we play 3 in the deck. That brings him back to 1, but we are already within range to kill this thing. So we will attach there 230, 250, 270. Yeah, going to dig for that band. There's the Vitality Band. There's some Metal Saucers finally. A little too late on those guys. But that is enough. Brave Blade will do 270. 280, that's right. 280, knock him out to take 3 prizes, which only had 1 remaining. And there we go. Pretty smooth win there with what's still a pretty inexpensive deck. So here's a quick review of the cost to this point. You got the 2 Zamazenta theme decks at $13 each. So it's about 26 on those. That one little addition of cards we added into the second step list, another $4 or so for those. And then we have the 3 Zacian Vs, which should be about $8 each, maybe a little bit more than that. You figure $24 on those, that's a total of $54. So, again, you may have to pay $1 more on a couple of those things, depending on how you get them. If you get them shipped to you, or if you go buy from a store, whatever the method is there, you should definitely be able to do this for $60. So with these 3 videos, we've laid out a pretty solid blueprint to get into the trading card game, and to do it in a way that is affordable and easy to follow. Follow these steps, and you can get a better understanding for the game. From there, you can adjust your list to whatever makes sense to you. The biggest mistake I've seen throughout my years of playing this game is that people take a winning list from a major event, they copy it card for card, and try to play it, having no idea what they're doing. These lists are full of texts or cards that are put there to either counter a certain deck, or in some cases even counter a certain player. And when players play these lists, these copied lists locally, they misplay them to death. Mostly because they really don't understand the reason or the situation for many of these cards that are included in these lists. And most are scared to venture outside of that mindset because they didn't go through the process of building the deck list up and seeing the reason for every one of the 60 cards included in the final list. Our little operation in Southwest Virginia has now accounted for over 15 World Championship invitations. I think it's 16. I have to go back and double check that, and that's no accident. We don't just play the game. We have a strong understanding for the game, and when we teach that, we try to pass that along to people just to get them to look outside of whatever channel they watched on YouTube or what list they looked up, and try to understand that mastering a good consistent list is going to make them a stronger player, and then from there they can build on that and take their game to the next level if they want to. Otherwise, you can just play and enjoy the game. So I hope you found all these videos helpful. This has been Hee Haw for Dark Moon Cards and Games. Later. If you're interested in following our players, our business, or both, there are many ways to do so. Friend us on Facebook. It's at Dark Moon Cards and Games. You can follow us on Twitter at DarkMoonCards1. And whether you want to learn to play or learn to win, join our team at one of our leagues. For more info on that, email us at fincastlepokemon@gmail.com. You can also read about the history of our league and our years of competitive play experiences on our blog located at fincastlepokemon.wordpress.com. Most importantly, subscribe so you won't miss any of our content.